Hey guys, it's Heather here with Underwater Panther, and this will be the second part of my video 6 on Emotional Regulation 101 for Aquarian or INTJ outliers. I'm going through my Emotional Mastery Guidebook here, my ebook that I just launched, so this is the video series for that. So, the prior video, we were talking about how to ground extroverted sensing in the inferior function for the INTJ, and this is talking about Pluto in fall for the Aquarian. So, I do combine astrology with psychology. So, we were talking about how to practice sensory grounding, the 5 senses. And we are going into structured routines, which represents Saturn and extroverted thinking. So, predictable routines reduce uncertainty, lowering cortisol. The science habits automate self regulation, freeing cognitive resources for creativity and problem solving. Try morning or evening rituals, planning breaks or solo time between social demands. Book in stressful days with the same calming routine. So actually schedule your calming routines in with your busy work. What are structured routines? Structured routines are predictable habits or rituals done at the same time or in the same way each day or week that organize your time, energy, and environment. Think morning routines, planning sessions, or set times for exercise, meals, or creative work. Why it matters. I'm actually going to grab a quick drink. My daughter's going to be back any second. She had to go get her earbuds. She's going to be sitting over here coloring in the background. She loves to be in here when I'm doing my videos. She's a Sagittarius. Through and through Sagittarius, mind you. All right, so why it matters for Aquarians or INTJs. Saturn energy. In astrology, Saturn represents discipline, structure, boundaries, and long-term growth. It helps you build systems that protect your energy and keep chaos at bay. Extroverted thinking. This cognitive function thrives on planning, organizing, and executing tasks efficiently. Extroverted thinking likes clarity, knowing what comes next, setting priorities, and measuring progress. I am still sick too, so excuse my voice. Aquarians or INTJ tendency, your mind is often focused on big ideas, long-term goals, or abstract possibilities. Introverted intuition and Uranus, but without structure, you risk overwhelm, procrastination, or emotional flatness. The science behind routine. So we're talking about structure and routines because this is helping with emotional regulation. So the science behind routines. Adeline, honey, I'm recording. So the science behind routines reduces decision fatigue. The brain has limited decision-making budget each day. Routines automate small choices, leaving more energy for creativity and problem solving. Lowers cortisol and stress hormones. So predictability is calming. Studies show that routines, especially around sleep, meals, and self-care, regulate your body's stress responses. Boost motivational and resilience. Regular habits create a sense of accomplishment, help you bounce back from setbacks, and anchor you during chaotic times. How to build structured routines. Start small. Pick one anchor, morning, lunch, or evening, and add a 5 to 10 minute ritual you can stick with. Examples. Morning, stretch, journal, or plan your top 3 priorities for the day. Evening, review the day, set tomorrow's goals, and unplug all of your devices. Batch similar tasks. Set aside specific times for emails, errands, or creative work, and it reduces multitasking and increases focus. Use visual reminders like calendars, to-do lists, or habit trackers, which helps your extroverted thinking and Saturn stay on track. Reflect and adjust. So, time out here. I do have a lot of apps that track things, a sleep app, my calendar app. I don't like plain Jane, so I use, I think it's called Time Passages. I can't remember if that's astrology or not, but I do record my monthly cycle in an app. And then I keep track of the moon cycle in the sky, so astronomy. I keep track of the current energies in astrology. I keep track of so many things. Sleep, I don't know if I said that already. I have my Fitness Pal app for nutrition, caloric intake, and then Jeffit, Jefit. That's a really good one for fitness routines, for keeping track of how much weight you're lifting, your sets, your reps. It gives you progress reports and like visual reports that you can look at. So there's all kinds of apps out there now that can help you track your whatever you're working on, your health, your fitness, your routines, I mean, even sleep. So it's very important to keep track of those things and stay in tune. It helps stay in tune with yourself. Reflect and adjust. Routines should evolve with your needs. Review them regularly to see what's working. Why it works for emotional regulation. Provides stability. Saturn's order soothes anxiety and creates a safe foundation for growth. Protects mental energy. Extroverted thinking structure stops you from burning out on endless open loops. Creates space for spontaneity. Paradoxically, the more structured your basics are, the more freedom you have to innovate with Uranus or pursue what inspires you through Neptune and introverted feeling. So, in summary, structured routines are like scaffolding for the Aquarius or INTJ mind. They reduce chaos, they support emotional balance, and frees up creative energy so you can focus on what matters most. Okay, so now we're going to move on to cognitive reframing. And this is number 3 on how to help yourself emotionally regulate. So number 3 is cognitive reframing. Honey, go around the camera if you're going to go over there. In the bag on, I think it's in the tent. Yeah. All right, so number 3, cognitive reframing, helping out the introverted intuition and extroverted thinking in Mercury. So that's kind of a focus plan on how to work with those cognitive functions and planet. So relabeling your thoughts changes how your brain processes emotions, which is prefrontal cortex override. So studies show that cognitive reappraisal lowers negative emotions and improves resilience. Try asking yourself, what's another way to see this? Write down one insight or lesson from a tough day. So this does remind me of the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. I studied about this very many years ago. So cognitive reframing, I do believe that Aquarians or INTJs, they can be rather pessimistic, like Capricorns are also pessimistic. I think it's extroverted thinking is in the parent. Yes, I was looking at my key card. I just wanted to make sure. So extroverted thinking, within your thinking, it is in a pessimistic type of slant. And so because Aquarians are a fixed sign, a fixed air sign, that means you're fixated on your own way of thinking and communicating. So Aquarians are especially prone to getting stuck in negative cognitive loops, cognitive thoughts, and being very pessimistic and negative and critical. It can be a huge problem. So when you're fixed, you get stuck in a rut in your mind. and you get stuck on negative thoughts. So looking into growth mindset and cognitive reframing is extremely crucial to get out of your negative feedback loop within yourself. So what is cognitive reframing? Cognitive reframing is the mental process of changing how you interpret or frame a situation, thought, or feeling. Instead of seeing only the negative or the default narrative, you consciously choose a new perspective, opening up new responses and possibilities. So I actually looked into this because I know that it all starts in the mind, and you really have to flip a switch, and everything starts in the mind when you have goals or you want to change your life. It all starts in the mind. So this is extremely important. All right, so why it matters for Aquarians or INTJs. Introverted intuition naturally seeks patterns, meaning, and big picture insights. Introverted intuition can get stuck in negative loops or worst case scenarios if unchecked. Extroverted thinking prefers practical, efficient solutions. TE helps put insights into action and shift focus from problem to plan. Mercury influence. Mercury rules thinking, logic, and communication, helping you find new words and concepts to reshape your experience. Aquarius or INTJ tendency. You're prone to overanalyzing, ruminating, or spiraling into existential worries, especially when stressed. Reframing puts your cognitive strengths to work for you, not against you. So, the science behind reframing. Neuroscience. Changing your narrative activates new pathways in the prefrontal cortex, reducing the amygdala's fear and stress responses. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT. Reframing is a core CBT skill proven to lower anxiety, depression, and negative thinking. It's not denial, it's flexible and empowered thinking. How to practice cognitive reframing. Notice the default thought. What's the automatic story in your mind? I failed, they don't care, it's hopeless. Pause and get curious. What else could be true? What's another angle or possible outcome? Reframe with extroverted thinking. Turn insight into action. What can I do about this? What did I learn? How might this actually help me grow? Speak or write the new frame. Articulate the new perspective. Writing it down or saying it out loud strengthens the new neural path. Examples. Default thought. I always mess up presentations. Reframe. I care about doing well. Last time I improved. Next time I'll prep differently and keep learning. Default thought. Nobody gets me. Reframe. It's rare to be understood deeply, but I can value my uniqueness and seek out my true tribe. I need a drink. Okay. So, why cognitive reframing works for emotional regulation? It shifts you from stuck to solution. It moves you out of the rumination and into forward movement. Reduces stress and overwhelm. Your brain literally calms down when you see more options. And this is a introverted intuition thing. Introverted intuition is like a sniper rifle. You get one shot, one kill. So you're very laser-like tunnel focused on one goal. That's how we tend to be. And we strategize for the long term. So that means we are very strategic and we're trying to strategize one path, one goal. And then extroverted intuition is like a buckshot. So NE or extroverted thinking users, they see many possibilities. The grass is always greener. They can go through many different scenarios in their mind of how things will play out with this opportunity, but they can see a lot of opportunities and how to get to many different goals at one time. And Aquarians, unfortunately, we are focused on one thing. So it can be very difficult. I will put it that way. They're strategic, not tactical. So it can be more stressful, I think, when you're only focused on one goal, and it seems like it takes longer to get there, and it's just something to be aware of. Okay, so it aligns with INTJ Aquarian strengths. You already think deeply and abstractly. Reframing gives you conscious control over your powerful mind. So, in summary, cognitive reframing is a science backed INTJ Aquarian friendly superpower that lets you rewrite your emotional stories, solve problems, and keep your mind and mood flexible, resilient, and open to growth. Okay, so now we're getting into creative expression. I'm actually going to blow my nose. I'm struggling. And I'm going to, oops.
Are you done yet?
No.
Are you almost done?
No.
Mom, look.
It's beautiful. Good job. Okay, so number 4 on how to deal with emotional regulation. Creative expression. We're dealing with Uranus, Neptune, and introverted feeling here. So, expressing emotion through art, music, or writing helps release tension and integrate experience. Creative activities activate dopamine pathways, improving mood and motivation. Alrighty, so what is creative expression? It means turning your thoughts, don't do that. It means turning your thoughts, feelings, or ideas into something tangible: art, writing, music, design, problem solving, or even playful innovation. And I have a truck driving by. What is that? Do you hear that? What is that? Oh, it's a tractor. It was a tractor. Okay, so it's about giving form to your inner world, whether you share it or keep it private. Why creative expression matters for Aquarians or INTJs. Uranus. This planet inspires originality, innovation, and a drive to do things differently. Aquarians' energy craves unique self expression, breaking rules, remixing ideas, and seeing new connections. So, with a Neptunian influence, brings imagination, intuition, and emotional depth. It allows you to channel subtle feelings into poetic or symbolic forms, making the invisible visible. Introverted feeling, this cognitive function is your private value system, the deep well of emotion and personal meaning you rarely show. Creative outlets help you process and express feelings without forced vulnerability. Aquarian or INTJ tendency, you may struggle to express emotion directly in conversation, but channeling emotion through creative work feels natural and empowering, letting you communicate your truth on your terms. The science behind creative expression. Neuroscience. Creativity activates multiple brain networks, improving emotional regulation, increasing dopamine and motivation, and integrating left and right brain activity. Psychology. Studies show that expressive writing, art, or music reduces stress, improves mood, and helps people process trauma and big emotions. Flow state. Creative activity can induce flow, a state of deep focus and pleasure that calms the mind and nervous system. Whew, that reminds me of my bodybuilding days. My flow in the gym was absolutely wild. I definitely get into flows with this work here for sure. I don't paint or draw anymore like I used to. I used to write a lot of poetry. and I would certainly get into a flow state with poetry. It's just amazing. I'm very, very creative. How to practice creative expression. Art and design. Draw, paint, sculpt, doodle, let go of perfection, focus on process. Writing. Journal, write poetry, create stories, or even outline new systems or theories. Music. Make playlists for your mood, play an instrument, sing, or just listen deeply and notice feelings. I definitely have a lot of musically inclined people in my family that are in bands and play guitar and piano and sing. So, problem solving and innovation. Brainstorm new approaches at work or in personal projects. Build something that's never been built before. Share or keep private. Share your creations with trusted people or keep them just for yourself. Both are valid. Examples. Draw your current mood as an abstract shape or color palette. Write a poem or letter to your future self. Remix an old project in a new way. Combine unrelated ideas or methods. Create a playlist that expresses your emotional state and notice how your mood shifts as you listen. Why it works for emotional regulation. Creative expression releases emotional pressure, moves feelings out of your body and your head into the world, and relieves stress and stuckness. Affirms your unique identity, embraces Uranus and Aquarius's individuality, proving you don't have to fit a mold. Creative expression also builds resilience. Turning emotions into creation transforms pain or confusion into meaning and growth. So, in summary, creative expression is an INTJ Aquarius superpower, blending Uranus, Neptune, and introverted feeling to process, regulate, and celebrate your emotional world. It's self-care, self-discovery, and self-liberation all in one. And now we're going to move on to number 5 for emotional regulation practices. Do you want me to light that candle above you? Adeline. Adeline, do you want me to light that candle so you can see better?
That one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeezy Petey about lost my chair cushion.
Really? How?
All right, so now we're moving on along. All right, so we got Atlas up here. I might move the camera closer in a little bit. I can't really see that well. I think everything's working. All right, so social regulation. We're tying in 11th house, Mercury, and extroverted sensing. Do you need to blow your nose? Here. All right, so Adam, blow your nose. Blow your face. Use a Kleenex. Please. All right, so meaningful connection, not just any socializing, supports the ventral vagal activation, calming your system. Science, even short positive interactions boost oxytocin and reduces stress. Try send a thoughtful message to a trusted friend, join a group or chat around a shared interest, have one deep conversation instead of multiple small ones. What is social regulation? Social regulation means using intentional, meaningful social interactions to help stabilize and improve your mood, reset your nervous system, and bring perspective or comfort during stress. Why social regulation matters for Aquarians or INTJs. So the 11th house is Aquarian's domain. This astrological house is all about friendships, groups, and community based on shared ideals. Aquarians or INTJs feel most nourished in relationships that are purposeful, idea-driven, or values-aligned, not just socializing for its own sake. Mercury. rules communication, learning, and intellectual exchange. Meaningful conversation, especially about big ideas, can shift your mental state and help process emotions. Extroverted sensing, engaging socially in the real world, even briefly, activates SE, grounding you in the present and breaking cycles of rumination or isolation. The science behind social regulation. Nervous system reset. Adeline, don't, honey. Nervous system reset. Social engagement, especially with supportive people, activates the ventral vagal branch of the parasympathetic nervous system per polyvagal theory. This calms stress responses and increases emotional resilience. Oxytocin boost. Even short positive interactions raise oxytocin, bonding hormone, which soothes anxiety and builds trust. Perspective shift. Sharing thoughts and feelings, especially in trusted circles, can help you reframe issues, find new solutions, and feel less alone. How to practice social regulation. One-on-one chats. Reach out to a friend who gets you, even if it's just a quick check-in or a meme exchange. Group rituals. Join or create a group around a shared interest, like a book club, mastermind, hobby circle, or online forum. Focus on quality over quantity. Collaborative projects. Team up with others on meaningful work, creative projects, or causes you care about. Ask for feedback or perspective. When stuck, get another person's take. Mercury thrives on dialogue and new input. Sensory socializing with SE. Attend a live event, share a meal, or go for a walk with someone. The sensory experience deepens connections. So why it works for emotional regulation. So it interrupts isolation, replaces the stress of social overload, which Aquarians or INTJs dislike, with energizing and affirming connection. Grounds you in reality, activates SE, pulling you out of overthinking and back into your senses. Builds emotional strength. Regular positive interactions help your brain and body recover from stress faster, making you more resilient. Movement number 6 to help with emotional regulation on the list here. We have movement and rest balance with SE and Saturn. Alternating movement and stillness keeps energy balanced, preventing both burnout and stagnation. Exercise releases endorphins and clears stress hormones. Mindful rest allows nervous system reset. Try 5 to 10 minutes of stretching, yoga, or walking. Schedule no phone time to simply rest and notice your body. So why movement and rest matters for Aquarians or INTJs? Oh, thank you so much, darling. You did such a good job. I love it so much. All right, so why movement and rest matters for Aquarian or INTJs. Extroverted sensing. Movement activates SE, the function that connects you to your body in the present moment. When you move, walk, stretch, dance, or exercise, you wake up your senses and calm mental overdrive. Saturn rules structure, discipline, and boundaries. It reminds you to set limits, not just in your work, but also in your downtime. Rest isn't laziness, it's maintenance for your nervous system and creativity. Typical INTJ Aquarian tendencies. You may either forget, to move, hyper-focus mode, or avoid. You may either forget to move, hyper-focus mode, or avoid rest. I haven't earned it yet. Both lead to burnout, flatness, or emotional instability if left unchecked. So yes, I get in a very hyper-focus mode, and I also forget or don't feel like I've earned rest, for sure. So the science behind movement and rest. Movement. Even light physical activity increases endorphins, Feel good hormones lowers cortisol, stress, and improves mood and literally shakes off tension stored in your body. Rest. Deep rest, unplugging, napping, meditating, or simply zoning out replenishes your energy reserves, restores your nervous system, and boosts problem solving and memory. Alternation. Studies show that alternating movement and rest, the ultradian rhythm, every 90 to 120 minutes enhances focus, creativity, and emotional regulation. How to practice movement and rest balance. More SE. Take a brisk walk, dance to one song, or stretch every hour you work or study. Try sensory movement. Focus on how your body feels, the air, the ground beneath you. Short bursts count. Even 2 to 5 minutes of activity can reset your system. Rest. Schedule downtime as seriously as task. Calendar 10 to 30 minutes for rest after periods of focus or effort. Try meditation, deep breathing, or laying down with eyes closed. Protect your rest boundaries. Turn off notifications. Let others know you're off duty. Examples: work for 50 minutes, then walk outside for 10. After a social event or intense mental work, unplug and do a calming ritual, tea, music, and laying down, for example, using an alarm or app to remind you to move and rest throughout the day. Why movement and rest works for emotional regulation. It prevents burnout. Regular movement breaks keep your energy flowing, while scheduled rest prevents emotional overload. Restores balance. Saturn's structure makes rest and activity predictable, building trust with your body and mind. And it boosts resilience. Balanced energy means you handle stress and emotions with more calm, clarity, and creativity. So, in summary, movement and rest balance is a Saturn SE powered way to keep the Aquarius or INTJ mind body system regulated, energized, and emotionally strong so you can thrive, not just survive. Okay, so now we're going to start talking about how to build your personal regulation menu. Reflect on which strategies work best for you. Science says the most effective rituals are the ones you'll actually use, not the ones that should work. Start small, repeat often, and adjust as you learn more about your rhythms. So, affirmation. My mind and body are worth caring for. I use science and self-awareness to choose regulation rituals that help me recharge, create, and thrive. So, what is a regulation menu? A regulation menu is your personalized list of strategies, rituals, activities, or practices that help you restore emotional balance, recharge your energy, and stay present during stress. Think of it as your toolbox for nervous system reset. Everyone's menu is different based on personality, lifestyle, and what actually works for you, not just what you should do. So, why Aquarians or INTJs need a custom menu? Your wiring is unique. You're analytical, future focused, and easily overstimulated or emotionally flat if routines, connections, or sensory needs go unmet. Not all tools work for everyone. Some people love yoga or meditation, others need creativity, movement, or deep conversation. You need options that fit your own energy and rhythms. So, how to build your regulation menu. Number 1, reflect on what actually works for you. Think back to times you've bounced back from stress, shutdown, or emotional overload. What helped? Movement, writing, music, time alone, or talking it out. Sample. Number 2, sample different strategies. Try a variety of rituals. So for sensory grounding, walks, mindful eating, structured routines, planning, morning and evening rituals, cognitive reframing, journaling, reframing negative thoughts. We have creative expression through art, music, and building something. social regulation, intentional conversations, groups, and projects, and movement and rest balance, scheduled downtime, and exercise. Number 3, notice the effects. After each activity, ask, did I feel calmer, clearer, more energized, or more present? If yes, add it to your menu. If no, try a new option or tweak the approach. Number 4, write down your top go-to rituals. Organize your menu into categories. Quick fixes, 2 to 5 minutes, like deep breathing, step outside, or text a friend. Deeper resets for 10 to 30 minutes, walk, journaling, and creative time. Or ongoing maintenance, weekly routines, group check-ins, and hobby time. Number 5, keep your menu visible. Put your menu somewhere you'll see it, on your phone, journal, or sticky note, so you can use it when you actually need it, not just when you're calm. Why it works. Science-backed, repeated use of regulation tools strengthens neural pathways for calm and resilience. And it's very empowering. Gives you agency over your mood and nervous system, not just waiting for things to change on their own. And flexibility. It lets you adapt rituals to your current needs rather than being stuck with a one-size-fits-all routine. So in summary, building your personal regulation menu helps Aquarians or INTJ types handle stress, emotion, and life with more balance, energy, and authenticity on your own terms. All right, so I'm going to stick an example emotional regulation menu in here. You can pick and mix from the rituals, combine 2 or more for best results, or you can add your own in the blank spaces. So in my Aquarian or INTJ emotional mastery guidebook, I have journal prompts in here. So I give you the example of an emotional regulation menu. There are ritual and practices, how to use it, when to use it, and how to try to use these tools. There's quite a few in here. So I'm probably going to stick it on the screen for this video presentation. And you can view that here for some examples. All right, so this is it for my video 6 in this series, Emotional Regulation 101. So this is part 2. I'm going to wrap it up here. And I'm just remembering my mind-body activation performance business. And I actually have so much. I kind of stopped with that business. I have everything still, my emails. It's a very good tool, and I'm thinking about relaunching that at some time, but not now. I don't think I'm going to launch that yet. I've got a lot going on here, trying to work on building this business. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. I hope you enjoyed this video. My next video will be dealing with emotional triggers without self-sabotage. So I'm going to be going into triggers and reactions. And yeah, so check out that video, like and subscribe. Feel free to comment below on this topic specifically today, and I will see you on the other side.